This thing out. Hold on. Let's check it out. Hey, everybody, just give me 1 second. Getting set up a little bit. How does this work? We're doing things a little bit differently today, so I apologize for the setup and the organization. We're just trying to get things moving a little. Let's see. Oh, good. Okay, good. We got it going. Fantastic. So I'm just going to lower that a little. Always good. I'm just setting up my phone because if you guys want a live question Q&A, I can see you guys. You can see me. It's all good. We also got a special guest today, Mr. Tom Chatalbash. He's going to be there in a minute. Hold on. Technologically, this is a nightmare. So bear with us, guys, because we're trying something new. We're trying something a little bit different today. Let's see. I'll send one. All right. How do we do this? Okay. On the upside, we don't got anybody in the chat right now, so that's good. All right. Invite. Let us see here. Invite. Hey, what up, Transformicon? How you doing, buddy? We're just getting set up a little bit, waiting for some people to get into the chat so we can interact and go into some movie stuff. We also have a guest coming on today, so you've seen him before on the show. Let's see. Just waiting on one more thing and we can begin. Let's see. Oh, there he is. Oh, look at him. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. He's back to the show, Mr. Tom Chatalbash. He's a writer at Screen Rant, YouTube's most reliable movie critic. Everybody, Tom Chatalbash.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, man, you figured this out way better than me, man. I gotta admit, I've learned today that computers have really bad cameras.
Oh yeah, same.
Man, that's some DVD quality right there.
Really?
You know?
I mean, this is just like a laptop camera, but I'll take it. I'll take any compliment I can get.
Well, you know, I'm never the pink and white, but you know what? We'll have to roll with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be better as a podcast. No one needs to see this. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I cannot complain. Is anyone here yet, or is it just us right now?
Transformicons just said hey. So
okay.
I'm looking at the stream
live comments. Okay, gotcha.
I'm looking at the what do you call it? The YouTube version of it. I can't pull that up too, actually. I usually have my my iPad with me, which usually helps a lot.
Gotcha.
Let's see here.
I see we're both rocking a faux hawk kind of look, so.
and we're also rocking, like, my couch is in the background.
Yeah, I was like, this room has way better lighting than my room, so I was like, let's do this.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Good enough. How you doing, buddy? You look very well. Very well put together today.
You know, freshly showered just for you. So
I did the same. I was like, the first thing I did is I set up the camera and I'm looking at myself in the reflection. I'm like, wow, I'm very glossy. I should jump in and jump out. It's no fun for anybody. We'll have to improve it though. I'm gonna get better equipment, so that definitely improves the whole setup.
I mean, does my mic sound all right? I'm just making sure that works.
Your mic sounds amazing. Do I sound okay, or do I sound like I'm dropping out with like the?
I mean, I guess every once in a while it'll drop, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. But
right. All right, man. So let's just get into it. We got some movie news, we got some trailers, and we got some. The headline being the which streaming service actually beat out the summer blockbuster. I already have one in my head. It seems like a no contest. Spoilers. It's not Tom Hanks.
Okay. Yeah, probably not. Poor Tom Hanks. He's had a rough year.
Yeah, he really has, man. Right. All right. So the first thing I want to bring up real quick is that I was reading on comicbook.com today. The Old Guard video game, which goes with the Netflix movie that came out last week. They put out a online video game. It's like you look at it from the top and you just move a character around. I played it for like 5 minutes, and you basically have to like sneak behind people and just like kill them, and you keep respawning. And whoever lives the longest gets free Netflix for life. Oh,
okay. All right.
Which according to the article, is 83 years of free Netflix. And if it stays, and we'll go up. But if it did stay at $15.99. That would be $16,000 lifetime worth of Netflix.
Can I put that towards like someone else's student loans? I mean, I know some people. Shit! Wow. Damn.
Can you do a scholarship?
I mean, like, just throw someone a bone,
and it's only through the 17th and the 19th. So today's the 17th. So up until Monday, you can jump on and give it a shot.
So if you want to say goodbye to your social life for the next couple of days, you know where to put your time.
and the funny thing is that I pulled it up on my phone because it is like a freemium game kind of, and I went to go put it. I rotated it sideways, and it's only the left side of the screen. The right side of the screen is all black, so you have to really like with one finger try to. It's not.
It's not a game that's meant for you or I. let's put it that way. I mean, I barely got.
Fingers?
I mean, look, I barely got through The Last of Us Part 2 on easy, so that's where I stand.
Yeah, it's the same thing of like ringing around the rows of the poles, sneaking up behind the bad guy. So I'm good.
Yeah.
But and we're gonna get into the Old Guard and some other movies that came out. Chucky 2021, they just dropped a teaser trailer.
Right.
I think it was yesterday. And it's not much to it. There's like one tagline where it says, "An evil too great to play on just one network," because it's going to be on USA and the Sci-Fi Channel.
Right.
I don't know how that works together. I kind of hope that like Sci-Fi has more of like an R-rated version of it. That'd be kind of fucking cool. Because
I mean, it's probably going to be. Yeah, it's probably going to be like how DC Universe has shows that are on CW and DC Universe, and then HBO Max and DC Universe, like where they just kind of share networks. But like I know for at least the DC Universe shows, like for Swamp Thing, for example, like even though they canceled that on DC Universe, it's like a hard R rated show. But when they aired on the CW this summer, it's going to be like heavily edited because it's like a super gruesome show. So maybe it'll be more grotesque or gruesome on one network and less so on another. But they're both kind of like similar in terms of like what they'll allow. So it'll probably be the same thing. Like USA and Sci-Fi are kind of similar.
I don't know how I feel about it too, because like it's like I'm looking at it, and the first thing I did is I brightened it because I'm like, let's see what Chucky looks like a little bit, and it's got like blonde hair.
I didn't even know this show was happening. I
had no idea yesterday either. And I'm looking like he's a blondie, and he's wearing like little jammy pants, and he just looks like a regular doll. But then when I dug deeper, it does have Brad Dourif and Jennifer Tilly from the original franchise, because they were very upset when the 2019 came out. They were very upset. They were kind of like not asked. They were not brought to the table. They were like, this movie. So it's good to see that they have like the original people, because otherwise, what's the point?
Right.
It's kind of like doing Freddy without the original Freddy. It's like why even bother at that point?
Yeah. I didn't really care for the new one.
I don't know how you're gonna deal with without any violence, because it is USA. It is.
Yeah. I mean, USA has done some violent things. Like they just had a Purge show. I didn't watch it, but like I'm assuming there was.
Exactly.
Like I'm assuming that there was pretty violent stuff in there, and I've watched USA shows in the past, and they can be kind of violent, but like they're not going to be like HBO or Showtime or any of those kinds of networks.
I guess if you like put it on at like 9 o'clock at night or something like that. Like I know Rick and Morty goes for like the 11 o'clock slot. just so they can kind of get away with more, maybe. But I don't know.
I mean, just think Hannibal was on NBC and they aired it at like 9 or 10, and that was one of the most gruesome shows that I've ever seen in my life, and it was on NBC.
Really?
So yeah, let that sink in for a minute.
Didn't they move from NBC to somebody else?
No, they stayed on NBC and then it got canceled because, you know, NBC doesn't like quality, apparently. But, you know, that's
too bad, though.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, well, and that's my point. Like, there's this one show called Prodigal Son.
I love that show, actually. Yeah.
Okay,
actually,
so okay, good.
Yeah,
I thought
actually,
I was
like
bring it up and you'd be like, I have nobody knows the show.
No, I've never met anyone else who watches it, so I was like, all right. Nice. Yeah, I'll take it, man. I mean, I'm happy. Do you actually like watch it, or do you just know?
I've seen. I'm all caught up.
Yeah,
I'm all caught up.
Yeah,
it's on. I think it's on Hulu, and I watched it on Hulu.
There you go. Yeah,
and I got to the point where I binged it. But the only problem is that like it's not. I remember watching the movie Silence of the Lambs, and then watching this after. And when you do that,
that's rough. That's like, rough. That's a steep decline. Yeah, wow.
Well, I think one led into the other, you know. I was kind of, the same idea.
I mean, it's very hard to like going from like watching a show like Hannibal and then watching Prodigal Son, because like they're so different, and they're like, but they're both like, I would say Prodigal Son is more of almost like a guilty pleasure, where like, you know, it's not like the best show ever written, but like it's very addictive and it's like very easy to watch, and Michael Sheen's amazing in it. But you know, there's better stuff out there, but I don't care. I love that show. So
it's like when you're at the office party and they have free pizza. It's not the best pizza, but it's free.
But
pizza,
it's free.
So
it's fucking free. And I'm hungry, so.
And you know what it is? I like it, but I have to watch it spaced out. It's not a binge-worthy show because after a while, Tom Payne, who plays the Prodigal Son, he can get a little annoying with his like over-the-top speeches about being manic. And
I remember
it's a little much,
because I remember I was watching the pilot of the show, and like his performance was so like, it took me out of the like, because I was like, the rest of this pilot's great, but like this guy, like I can't tell if this is just like an awful performance or if I just need to get like used to it. And luckily he like calmed down as the season went on, but like initially I was like, this is an awful performance, and he's the lead.
He's too manic. He needs to chill that shit out.
But like luckily he's even out.
The mom pisses me off too, because they kind of shoehorn her in for no good reason. I'm like, why is the mom here again?
Yeah, she's always worried about her son. She's always talking about money. It just, I don't know, it's ridiculous.
It's coming in 2021. Chucky, 2 networks.
In case you forgot what we were talking about.
You know, it's funny, like you brought up The Purge. I remember that they had a trailer for that. I think it was like last 4th of July or something like that. It was coming out soon. Right. And in preparation for that, me and my girlfriend Cassie, we watched all the Purge movies.
Right.
And then it came on whatever network, like maybe it was Sci-Fi. It came out on TV the following month. Never watched it. We watched all the movies and we were like, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, really the only reason I would have watched the show is because I heard Ethan Hawke popped up. I was like, that would have been cool, but like that's about it.
How would that even work?
No, because apparently like he's like high up in the government now, since like he was like big, you know, during that first film or whatever, and I guess he rose through the ranks.
But spoilers, he dies in the first one, doesn't he? Yeah, he gets killed in the end of the first one.
I guess
unless
he did.
They pulled that prequel bullshit. Yeah. Or the TV, everybody.
Or actually, now I'm trying to think. Does the show take place before the movie? I don't know. I didn't care enough to look into it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe it takes place before the first movie. Maybe I need to do some research, but I don't know.
But you know what? I'll definitely give the in a world of you can't go anywhere and do anything. I'll watch a pilot.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't. It's got Brad Dourif, so I'm all right. Next bit of movie trailers is the New Mutants. They have the Comic-Con trailer. It's been 3 years since the original trailer dropped for the New Mutants. But they dropped an
poor New Mutants. Like I feel like New Mutants is like the kid that keeps going up to their dad and like, Dad, I want to play. And he's like, I'm busy. And then he's done it like 4 times. Like this poor kid just wants to have like a catch, but the dad is just too busy. It's just this poor movie. Like so much money and like effort was put into this thing, and it doesn't look half bad. And just like it's been sitting on the shelf for what, like 2-3 years? Like this poor fucking movie.
The first trailer dropped 3 years ago, so you know they had the majority of it filmed 3 years ago.
Right.
I don't know. It feels like after New Mutants, like you just need to stop.
It
Not
just,
New Mutants.
I just what?
What was one that just came out? Dark Phoenix.
Oh
After
God,
that, you're like, no more, please, no more.
Rough. No thanks.
Yeah.
Send it back to the kitchen.
But I mean, because that was the mindset when the trailer dropped 3 years ago. I'm like,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, honestly, it's like I like the idea of a like a mutant horror movie. Like I think that's different, and I like how like visually how it looks, even though some points in the trailer kind of reminded me of that like recent Fantastic Four movie. So I was like, I don't know. But
yeah.
I am willing to give it the benefit of the doubt because I think Josh Boone's a good director. I really like the cast. I think it could be really cool and different. But I do not think that if they do release it in theaters at the end of August, which I really just don't think is going to happen at this point, they should just put it on Disney Plus, or at the very least put it on like demand where, you know, it can at least make some money. But it's just like it wouldn't even do well in theaters. I just don't feel like it has the popularity or the attention that they want it to have. I just feel like it would have flopped.
I think it would have flopped pre-2020. Like if they put it out initially, like it never looked like it was going to do well ever. No. You know, and I'm sure they'll use this like as an excuse for like when it does inevitably bomb. Oh, well, you know, 2020 was a bad year or whatnot.
Right. I'm sure a lot of movies will be using that as an excuse. Well, it was 2020, so you know what happened in 2020.
Well, even before this all happened, because like you said, the idea of a mutant movie in a horror genre sounds really exciting. But when you know that it's like being funded by the big mouse in little pants, like you know it's not going to be a hard R. You know it's not going to be gruesome. Like I watched the trailer today, and it's got Anna Taylor-Joy. She's playing a character called Magic, and they've really let the cat out of the bag. They're showing you more and more with every trailer, and she's got like the white hair. She kind of looks like Storm, which is got like these bright blue eyes, and it's kind of like, all right, well she's doing some shit, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I kind of don't care.
I don't know. It's just like, I mean, I feel like a lot of other people care a lot about this movie. I'm just like intrigued by it, and I definitely want to watch it if it comes to like Disney Plus. But like, I wouldn't go to a theater in August to go watch it. Like, it's not worth the risk to me to go see that. Like, I would never. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way. Where like the majority of the comments, if you look on any of the trailers or any of the news posts about the movie, it's like just every comment is like, release it on Disney Plus, get it over with, let people actually see this movie. And I can't help but agree. Like, it's kind of like an Artemis Fowl situation where I'm not saying it's going to be as bad as Artemis Fowl, but I'm saying where they can at least get more people to watch it than if they released it in theaters.
Right.
Also, Artemis Fowl is the worst thing that's ever happened in 2020. Psych, it's not.
I get comments on my
it's in the top 3.
Like, how come all your movies you give good reviews? And it's like I'm guilty of like not watching the bad ones. Like if I look on like I saw the review for Artemis Fowl, I was like, I'm not watching that. Everybody said it sucks. Like it didn't really appeal to me as like the genre anyway. And then I'm like, no, I'm good. And I've got Disney Plus. It's free. I can just click it. And I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I know. You know what the worst part was? I was watching that movie because I wanted to review it, and I got to like the last 2 minutes of the movie, and the stream kept shutting down on me. I was like, just let me get to the credits. So I had to keep reloading Disney Plus just to watch him fly off in a helicopter. I was like, great. It literally took me like a half hour to finish like the last 2 minutes. It's like, this isn't even worth it. It's not. No. But yeah, enough of my anger.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. We got 4 streaming services that are basically trying to win the summer blockbuster movie.
Right.
We've got Apple TV, Hulu, Netflix, and who am I forgetting? The Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Yeah. Right.
So let's just start with who probably isn't going to win it.
Well, that's going to be Apple. That's going to be Apple TV. When your biggest movie is Greyhound. Yeah, no, I love the story. I love the story where someone, I think they were reporting, Greyhound is Apple TV Plus's biggest movie ever. Yeah, no shit. We're
better than Quibi, so we got that going.
It's like, what other big movie have you released? Like, let me know.
they've got like the morning show with like Steve Carell and
I think that's like what they're most well known for is like that and that Defending Jacob show.
Defending Jacob, and I think the one guy from It's Always Sunny.
Oh yeah, I've heard things about that.
Mystical Quest
or something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I've never seen any of it. I have no inclination. Speaking of Quibi, real quick, and I'll keep it super quick because Quibi is a shitty service that nobody should get. I put a reminder in my calendar for like 2 days before it actually charged me like to delete it.
Right.
I watched one series of it, and it's painful to watch because it's only like 5 to 9 minute videos, and then there's like an ad, and it kind of wants you to watch it in vertical mode, but you can turn it and watch it in regular mode. But you can tell they filmed it with the mindset of vertical mode because like everything's very much like.
But who wants to watch something in vertical mode? Like I like my widescreen. Like I don't understand.
Well, their argument was like, and again they're blaming the pandemic. They're saying that people on the subway would want to watch it on that 5-minute ride from A to B, because the pause button apparently is not a thing. So they're gonna break it up into 5-minute segments for you. I watched one series. It's called The Stranger. And it's got Dane DeHaan from Chronicle, and it's got the actress in the movie It Follows. You see that one, the horror movie where
that's one of those horror movies I still haven't gotten a chance to see because someone spoiled like what it's really about, and I'm like, oh, and I was like, that would have been so cool to find out on my own.
Very good.
Like, I don't know, one of these days.
But the story is very basic. It's like the girl is basically like an Uber driver. She picks up Dane DeHaan. He's a serial killer. He's like, I'm gonna kill you with this knife
unless you
tell me. I feel bad for him.
He just keeps getting typecast as like psychopath. It's like he's probably a really nice guy.
He's like the Edward Furlong of our generation, where it's like he had so much promise with Chronicle, and then all downhill.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. He like disappeared.
I think Spider-Man 2 is what happened to him.
Oh,
that was the big nut. That was his shining moment to shine, and they were like, "Ooh,
damn." And you know what?
He didn't know.
And you know what?
He would have done the movie too.
He could have been a really good Green Goblin, but then they went like, "Oh, he's turning into a Green Goblin." I was like, "No." It's like
he looked like a Goosebumps villain of the week. He didn't. They could have at least made him look like the comic. Do you know what I mean? Like anything would have been better than that shit.
It's gross.
But yeah, basically he gets in the car with her and he's like, I want you to tell me a really good story. If you could tell me a really good story, I won't kill you. And it's like 13 5 to 9 minute episodes. I was able to get it on my TV. There is like an Apple TV. I have an Apple TV, so there was like a button. We'll throw it up there for you. But you still have to watch an ad every like 5 or 9 minutes. It keeps alternating. So, and all in all, it was 65 minutes in total because I added it up, and I'm like, and it wasn't coherent, and it felt very much like a like they just shot the draft scripts. Like they did not do like a rehearsal. Like the dialogue just feels like they wrote it and they didn't fine tune it to the actor. So Dane DeHaan is like throwing every cliche movie line at you with very little effort. It's not good. I like Dane DeHaan.
I wasn't even remotely on the fence about getting Quibi. So,
and then the big one, the one that people were talking about is The Princess Bride because they did like the table read for it.
I did
They got like Paul Rudd and.
Because was it on Quibi where they released like kind of like all the celebs kind of doing the movie in parts? Because I saw one of the bits and it was actually pretty funny where like it was like Jack Black and John Hamm and Caitlin Dever. Like they got a bunch of great people and it was actually really funny. I was like, all right, this is cool. I like this, but like still not going to get Quibi. and
one of the sweetest parts of it is that Carl Reiner just died. The guy, he played Saul in the Ocean's 11 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Reiner, his son, is the one who directed The Princess Bride.
Yep.
So before he died, he must have gotten Carl Reiner involved because the last scene of the movie is Carl Reiner reading the book to Rob Reiner in bed, and like he kind of winks at the camera. He's like, "What's the line?
As you wish." Yeah.
And then he leaves. So it's kind of like a sweet ending.
That is nice.
But fuck Quibi.
Just wow, that was a sharp right turn. That was like a sharp right turn. It's like we're turning this car right around.
If you can take anything from this, guys, from what we've talked about, download Quibi.
Wow.
Right? Watch that scene and then cancel and delete.
Damn. That was like a Sour Patch Kid, sweet and sour right there. Holy shit.
So that covers our Quibi, and that covers our the Apple TV, so let's go to Hulu. Hulu had Palm Springs. I think that was the biggest release in a while. Like I can't think of any other original content from Hulu. Like as far as the movie.
They came out with
TV, but
well, they came out with Big Time Adolescence in March, I think, which was like another one of their.
That was pretty good.
Like I like their original movies. I like their original movies.
Let me get your opinion real quick. Which one do you like better, Adolescence or King of Staten Island?
Ooh, oh damn.
Or are you just like the same movie?
I mean, he's basically playing the same person in both movies, but I think I like King of Staten Island a little bit more because I feel like it kind of probes a little bit deeper, where I feel like his character in Big Time Adolescence kind of just stays the same throughout the entire movie. So I kind of liked that it was more of a dramedy in King of Staten Island, while Big Time Adolescence, like, it never really got deep. It was really enjoyable, but never really got like super deep where I kind of wanted it to go. But I still really enjoyed both. So,
I mean, if you told me that King of Staten Island was a sequel and they just never bring up his dad in the first one, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
No, yeah, I would have believed it.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
I think I like that one a little bit more too because you do have Bill Burr, Steve Buscemi, Marissa Tomei. It's really well rounded. I don't think anybody besides Pete Davidson is in Adolescence. Like I don't know who anybody else is, right? There's nobody famous in that. They're both good though. They're both enjoyable and like hey, it's the weekend, I'm gonna stream something. So but the big movie, Palm Springs, which you and I both love.
Love that movie. Favorite movie of the year right there. not that I've seen a ton of movies this year.
Is it actually your favorite, like just overall or comedy or what?
No, I just think it's my favorite movie. I've watched it 4 times. Like I've shown so many people this movie and they all love it equally. And it gets better every time I watch it. Like it still remains hilarious. It's still super like heartfelt and I'm catching little things, new things every time I watch it. So it's a gift that keeps on giving for me.
Yeah, isn't it great when you find a movie that good when you're like, I need to show you come in here. I need to
literally just like something. Everyone I know, I'm just like, sit down, you're watching this movie, and most of them have no idea what it's about, and I just like watch them like slowly figure it out, and I'm just like, and they're just like, is this the same day? And I'm like, I don't know.
Just watch.
Yeah,
there's nothing worse when you're watching a movie with somebody who like you've seen it, they haven't, and in the movie they're like asking you a question.
Yep.
That's going to be answered in the next scene.
Tons of friends.
Yeah, like that. and then like if you make the mistake of answering that question, they missed something else, and they're like, "So wait, what just happened?" I'm like, "Just watch the movie."
No, like the way I see it is like I almost want to like preface any movie I watch with someone, like just be like, "Look, watch the movie. If you have any questions that aren't answered after you watch the movie, I'm happy to help, but just watch the movie."
So. I don't know. I feel this movie is like kind of amazing. Where you're right. I can watch it again and again.
Yeah, it's
definitely a good it's a great background movie too.
Yeah.
I just love that middle, like when they're just having like the time of their lives. Like
it's great.
They're flying. They're flying the plane. And they crash it straight down, and
it's so good.
Like and Roy as J.K. Simmons like really kind of elevates a little bit too.
Yeah, and I like how they like hid who he was like in the trailers. Like they did a good job, kind of like concealing that. Like I mean, the trailer I think does a good job of like at least showing you what it's basically about, but not giving like the best parts of it away, which is a tricky thing to do with a movie like this. Even though I almost wish I didn't even watch the trailer, but I already kind of knew what the movie was about when it like premiered at Sundance, so it wasn't really a spoiler for me. So.
Yeah, I saw the trailers again, and I was like, because they show it whenever you watch anything on Hulu now.
Well, yeah, it's their biggest movie. Yeah. It's their biggest movie.
But I remember like the night, like I dropped at midnight. And I saw something on, I guess, on Letterboxd because I use Letterboxd a lot. And I saw like, what is this? What is this? Like Adam Sandberg, and I'm like, oh, it drops at midnight. Fuck it. So
Adam Sandberg, huh?
Andy Sandberg.
Didn't think I was gonna let that one slip, did you?
God. So
that's what you get when you mix Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg. That's their twin.
Oh, yeah, that's my boy, right?
Yep. I mean, they were in a movie together, so.
I mean, if you think about it, he kind of like is like the predecessor to Adam Sandler in so many ways. It's like SNL alum who's now making movies. It's kind of,
wouldn't it be a successor?
Yes. See, I'm testing you to see if you're paying attention.
I was just like, wait a minute. Let me just clock you there.
It depends whose point of view you're looking at.
Yeah, I was like predecessor. I'm like, wait a minute. Either I don't know how age works.
Hey man, I've been quarantined for a while. All right?
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone's brains are mush at this point, so I'll give you a free pass on that one.
Was there anything in this movie that you didn't like?
Honestly, after watching it, like I said, 4 times, there really isn't anything I would take out of it. Like, there's nothing that really bothered me. I like the way that they differentiated like each kind of repeat of the day, which I think is a great thing to do in a time loop movie. Otherwise, it gets really stale and repetitive. I like all the character beats. The humor still works. I'm even catching jokes I didn't like on the first few goes around that are so great. And I really love the performances from Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti. Like, especially, like, I've seen Andy Samberg give a good performance, but I think this might be his best that I've seen him give, because it's actually allowing him to be a little bit deeper and not just like, you know, the levity and whatever he's in. Like, he actually can get a little bit more heartfelt and deep in this movie, and I like that he actually could do that. And Kristen Milioti just needs to be in more things. I don't know why she's not, because she's super talented and awesome. So, and I just love them together. I think they're great.
So no then.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a no. And even like the more I watch it, like now I totally understand all like the time loop thing and how like it makes sense to me completely now. And you know, like I had an idea when I first saw it, but now I totally know what's going on. And I also have like little theories and stuff that are fun to talk about with people. It's a good time. How about you?
I like it quite a lot. I mean, there's little bits that I'm still trying to work out. I'm not gonna get into it because it's too much to get into. I might make a whole video on it.
I mean, you definitely could do a whole video
about it a little bit.
Yeah,
but I think there's some certain elements. It's just a matter of whether you're willing to believe in X, Y, and Z or not. Right. But that might be a whole separate video I might get into. And it's very little. It's a very little thing, and I think you just need to go with it, because it is like a dumb, like rom-com adventure movie. It's not meant to be like overly analyzed. You know what I mean?
No. I don't think it was ever meant to be like a movie that you make like a video breakdown on.
But that's the thing. I think it's because it is that good of a movie that it elevates in your head. You're like, maybe somebody should break this down a little bit. You know what I mean?
You certainly could. I mean, there's certainly some like conspiracy theories you could throw out there with certain characters in it for sure. But like, it's not a movie that like I need to like heavily analyze. Like, I understand everything that happened. I get it. I don't really have any questions. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
I will say this much, is that it is worth a second watch.
Oh, absolutely.
If only because I don't think this is really a spoiler. I think it's kind of in the trailer. Is that Andy Samberg has been in the time loop for some time now, whereas Kristen Milioti kind of, she's like us. She joins it, but like once you know that he's in there the entire time, it's so much fun watching him act the way he does before like, Kristen Milioti finds everything out.
Yeah,
like when he's on the dance floor, he's kind of like behind the guy, and you're like, this is so great.
No, I mean, I thought that was a really like unique way of doing a time loop movie where one person's been in it for like who knows how long, and then one person's new it, like just in it now. So it's like it's a great little divide, and it's something I've never seen in a time loop movie, which is so great.
Right.
So,
or even little things where he's like, it's an age thing, and she's like, what is that? And as a viewer, you're thinking like, he's not that old. I think he's like 41 or something like that. And then you're like, oh no, wait, he means a whole different age thing. He's been doing this for like thousands of days.
Who knows? Like who knows?
Well, I mean, he can't remember his job.
Yeah. So clearly, it's been a long time.
That's pretty telling. Like when they talk about Groundhog Day, I think they talked about how like Bill Murray's been in there for years. At least that's what they said in like the screenplay part of it, because it's never really addressed in the movie itself. I know we talked about this before we started. Is that like if you want to recommend a movie of equal caliber, like if you like this movie, would you recommend that movie? What would you recommend for anyone who saw Palm Springs?
If you really enjoyed Palm Springs, or you're just really looking for like another like time loop movie, they're one of my favorite kinds of movies when they're done right. I'd recommend Edge of Tomorrow. That is one of my favorite ones, because I think it's probably one of the best that I've seen in years, where like it's not only a terrific action movie, but it's smart, it's clever, it takes the time loop scenario and does all sorts of great things with it. It does a different kind of character for Tom Cruise, where he's kind of like this pansy in the beginning, and then he slowly becomes like a hero, which is like a huge 180 for him, which was such a great, pleasant surprise. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it totally tackles like what it's like to be in a time loop psychologically, which I think is great. And Emily Blunt's a badass in it. And it's just a great time loop movie. And I think if you like these kinds of movies, give it a shot.
And it's got a very underrated performance by Bill Paxton in there.
The great late Bill Paxton. So good.
Right? With the mustache. Whenever Bill Paxton's got a mustache, you know you're in for a good time.
Yeah. Tip of the spear. I love that guy.
For my pick, my pick was Hot Rod and Popstar and Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Ooh,
I love both those movies. Because I could have went with the obvious. I could have been like, well, Groundhog Day and Happy Death Day, which I don't really like that much. It hasn't aged well. Happy Death Day.
I actually like the Happy Death Day movies. They're like guilty pleasures for me. I enjoy them.
I think I tried watching two on cable, but I found myself on my phone most of the time. I'm like, this is not
rough.
I don't know.
Hate to see it.
Groundhog Day is a classic. I absolutely love it. But if you're watching, what do you call it? This movie, Palm Springs, you're probably gonna want to watch Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping.
That is one of the most underrated comedies ever.
Right. So if I'm gonna pitch a movie at people, it's gonna be that one because I don't think it gets enough play.
That broke my heart when it bombed. That broke my heart because I remember I saw it opening. I saw it opening weekend, and then there was like no one in the theater. I was like, oh shit! And then I remember I don't even think it made like $5 million. Like it just bombed. Like you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna actually look up what it made opening weekend because I'm just curious. I just remember I looked at the numbers. I was like, this is awful. Hold on. Let's see. It's definitely gonna be super low. Hold on.
I just love some of the jokes in there. He's like, hey man, if you don't sell out, like, how are you gonna know like if people are gonna stop asking you or not? Like, there's just so many jokes in that fucking movie.
Its domestic opening was $4 million.
Up against a budget of what?
It doesn't say, but it only made $9 million domestically. That's it. $9 million worldwide.
And it's not Tom Cruise, so you know it's not making like money in China. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that was a gigantic bomb.
It's definitely a cult movie that's probably found a big following.
It's definitely a cult movie. Everyone who's seen it has loved it. And I remember I saw an interview recently where the interviewer asked him, like, you know, like, what would you contribute to the movie failing and bombing? And like, really, they blamed the marketing because they like leaned so heavily into the Bieber thing, where like that's not like what the movie is at all. Like people thought it was just like making fun of Justin Bieber when it's about something completely different, and they kind of just leaned into that in the marketing. So that's what people thought it was, and then no one saw it. So they kind of blamed the marketing.
You know, I'm probably guilty of that too because I remember seeing it. He's like in a white tank top and white pants, and I'm like,
yeah, because that was
Justin Bieber the whole time.
Like, yeah, like he had one outfit that was like similar to Justin Bieber the entire movie, and like that's what they used in the marketing because they thought it was gonna get people in, but backfired.
But yeah, man, we got songs like "Fuck Bin Laden" and shit like that. It's just like a good fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a good soundtrack too. I remember I was like humming these like really fucked up songs like for like a week. Yeah, like Mona Lisa is just a super catchy song.
So yeah, I would definitely, and Hot Rod's not bad, but I would definitely.
Oh, I love Hot Rod. If you like dumb comedies, Hot Rod is like the perfect dumb comedy. Like I love that kind of humor.
Another one I found on streaming. I never would have went to the theaters to go see Hot Rod. At least not when it came out.
Not many people did. Not many people did. I'm telling you, these guys make such great underseen movies.
It's too bad. I was talking to Cassie today because we were talking about that Andy Samberg, and she's like, I've never seen SNL. I'm like, really? She's like, and it's occurred to me that like most young people don't really watch or know SNL, which is kind of like a strange thing.
I mean, it's not nearly as iconic as it used to be.
Right. And like I think every generation, like our generation, like we probably remember like Will Ferrell and then like Andy Samberg. Did I say Andy Samberg? Yes. Okay. Will Forte, stuff like that. I couldn't name one I had to look it up. Can you name a single person on SNL's rosters right now?
Chris Redd, Kenan Thompson.
I couldn't even tell you who Chris Redd is.
Pete Davidson,
Yeah.
So I got a few.
I looked at the list, and the only two I recognized was Pete Davidson and Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon.
After that, I've no. She's like the best part. I love when she does like the character that gets abducted by aliens.
Oh, it's the best. Even though I feel like they've kind of overdone that at this point. Like they knew they had a hit, and they just keep doing it.
Okay, it's okay. It was worth the go through it.
No, the best one was the one with Ryan Gosling. Made him break so bad. It was so great.
They brought him back for another one. Fantastic.
So good. Oh, so good. So good.
I'd love to see Kate McKinnon. She's another one that kind of just got like a raw deal. Like I think she did Ghostbusters, and everyone's just like,
she was in Bombshell.
What is Bombshell?
The one with Charlize Theron and
the lady
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
About Roger Ailes and all that.
That's another one that like I kind of want to see, but just I never get to it. It's like Just Mercy. Like I hear it's good, or like
Just Mercy's really good. Just Mercy's really good.
Or like Dark Waters. Like I remember the
That's really good too.
Like they're just these movies that kind of come and go, and if you don't grab them, they just kind of disappear into the ether.
Yeah.
All right, so we can highly recommend Palm Springs. Let's move on to. Well, let's not blow our load just yet. Let's go to Netflix.
Okay, that's quite the transition. All right, all right.
Sorry, kids.
Did we not mention this is like an R-rated show? My bad.
So over in the chat, we got Transformicons. We got
what's going on, everybody?
Scott, whatever. Movie Files. I just watched you on the live stream the other day, guys. Oh, Unknown Flick Z. You guys are always there. It made $9.7 million. I'm excited for the Chucky show against a budget of $20 million. I guess he's talking about Pop Star.
Pop Star. Yeah.
Yeah. Like It Comes at Night. Yeah, man. Marketing can fuck a movie really good. You know it's never good when the marketing is that bad.
Yeah.
I was watching this behind the scenes because I'm from Jersey, so. I was watching this behind the scenes of Kevin Smith talk about Mallrats, and he basically just made Clerks with more money. But what undid that movie in the biggest way was the marketing team didn't know what to do, to the point that they actually came to him and was like, "Can you make our trailer for us?" And they're like, "The fuck, guys! Like, really?"
Oh wow!
and then Scott Mosier, who's like his producer on all of his movies, was like, "Yeah, it was really bad because you had these really bad 30-second TV spots where it was just like Sharon Doherty and Jason Lee, Mallrats." So he's like, "Great, somebody you don't know and somebody you fucking hate. I'm sure this would be a fucking hit." Like,
Jesus, that's rough.
So yeah, marketing can really do a bad run. So I know you just wrote an article because you're a writer at Screen Rant. Awesome. You just did an article on Netflix. And their biggest hit was Extraction because they just released their highest grossing movies that they kind of have, or I guess the view counter, right? The most viewed, I guess it was.
Yeah. It was the most viewed in their first 4 weeks of release.
Right. Okay. And does that include The Old Guard? Probably not, right?
No, not yet. Probably not. Because it hasn't even been out for 4 weeks, so they wouldn't have those numbers yet.
Right. I remember looking at it very quickly. I don't have it on hand, but I remember it was number one was Extraction, which I thought was great.
Yeah, Extraction was one.
Bird Box was number two.
Bird Box was two. Six Underground was in there.
Number three was Simon Confidential.
Oh, Spencer Confidential, yeah.
Spencer Confidential. There you go. See, if it's a bad movie, I'm not going to
Simon Confidential. That really rolls off the tongue. Yep.
50-50. If you said nothing, nobody would pick it up.
I know, but like I'm not that guy. I'm so sorry.
No, I remember seeing the trailer for that and just being like, all right, so we got Mark Wahlberg, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, this looks like it was filmed very cheaply. And then Post Malone pops up, and I'm like, it's what?
Aggressively okay movie.
Yeah, and then you see that they put movies out like Coffee and Cream with
yeah, I didn't even watch that.
Yeah. So and then what was the other one? What was the one with like Will Smith and an orc?
Oh, Bright?
Awful. Yeah. Jesus. Between Bright and Bird Box, Netflix doesn't really have a lot of like guaranteed to be great. It's kind of like you have to like read about it before you go check it out because
sometimes, yeah.
I don't know. But let's talk about their big movie they came out with, The Old Guard. You've seen it, right?
Yep. That I have.
What'd you think of The Old Guard?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not perfect. It could have been better, sure. But like, I think that for the most part, it had fun with its premise. I liked the idea, and Charlize Theron's a badass as usual in it. And like, I had a good time with it. It's not a movie I would like pop in again or stream again because it's it's definitely not on DVD. But it's fine. It's fun. It's fine. Like I'd recommend it to someone if they're looking for like a dumb action movie. But that's about it.
And help me out if I'm wrong, because I didn't love it as much as you did. I had a lot of, for one, it's like 2.5 hours long.
It's like a little over 2 hours. Like very.
Yeah. So that was a big one. That was like, this could have been a tight 90 minutes, but okay.
Yeah,
but I think the basic premise is that like you have 4 characters that are ancient and they haven't they don't die, and they're warriors, and like they've kind of been fighting through time. And Charlize Theron is the oldest; she's the leader. And then there's a new character, this girl who's in the army. She finds out that she also has this power, and William Stryker-esque character comes along and is like, I want to weaponize it, so capture them and do this.
Dudley Dursley. Dudley Dursley.
So that was my biggest issue, is that I liked the action. I liked every scene that Charlize Theron was in. But to me, it felt like, have you ever seen like those commercials for like Master Class with like Ron Howard? And it's like a behind you can pay Master Class, and it's like it'll be 14 episodes and they'll teach you how to be an actor or a director or whatever. It felt like a master class for Charlize Theron, and she's surrounded by first-year actors. Because she's like up here, and every other actor is just kind of like, I don't know what we should do. What do you think? Get them for it. Wasn't, and then she would kind of elevate it. So the acting was shitty. Besides her, the action was good. What I didn't like about this movie was that it felt like Logan way too much.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but
a character that's kind of a little bit older and ready to die, who picks up a protege under their wing, and in the third act goes, I'm gonna give my life so that maybe you can go on and carry the torch for it. Just, and then even down to the fact that you have like an organization trying to hunt them down, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. Don't get me wrong, for a dumb action movie that's free on Netflix, I'm like, all right, but like you said, I'm not gonna go rush back to it anytime soon.
No, I mean, they're already talking about making like 2 more of these. I'm like, okay, if you want to do it. I mean, they set it up heavily for a sequel.
Well, that's what I wonder about. Like, I wonder if she was meant to die. I mean, spoiler alert, but like, I wonder if she was meant to die, and they were like, wait, no. This isn't like the 10th time that Hugh Jackman has played Wolverine. This is the first time that Charlize Theron has played Andy, I think it is. So we need to keep this. We need to keep it going. There's also been some news that Charlize Theron would love to do an action movie with Mr. John Wick himself, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
we talk about like a crossover. I think Netflix is actually recently this week too talked about doing Atomic Blonde 2 on Netflix.
No, they are doing that. Yeah, like they confirmed that. Right? Yeah, they confirmed that they're developing that at Netflix. So I'm pretty amped about that. I mean, Charlize Theron could easily just be a character in the John Wick world, like easily. Like she doesn't even need to be like an Atomic Blonde, character. She could literally just like be some new character or assassin that John Wick has to go up against or something. It'd be amazing.
Continental.
Like she would blend in perfectly in like the John Wick world. I would love to see that.
Absolutely. What movie would you recommend anybody that liked this movie?
What, The Old Guard?
The Old Guard.
I would say if you liked it, definitely watch Atomic Blonde if you want to see more of Charlize Theron kicking ass, because I think it's an underrated movie and I really enjoyed it, and I think it's really well directed and she's great in it. I would recommend that or Mad Max Fury Road, just more Charlize Theron kicking ass and being awesome, which is one of the best action movies I've ever seen. So if you're definitely in the action mood, check out either of those. I think you'll enjoy them.
Yeah, Fury Road is kind of like an easy go. I don't think you would have had any of this without Fury Road.
No.
There would be no Atomic Blonde, no any of this.
Yeah, because up to that point, the only action movie I can remember her doing is like Aeon Flux, which was awful.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think she wants to forget about that one.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, because like I was thinking of like her and Keanu Reeves together, and I'm like, haven't they done a movie or two together? And they did. They did The Devil's Advocate, where like she's like the crazy wife, or she becomes crazy.
Yeah, didn't they also do what's that movie? Was it like Sweet November? That is an awful movie. Oh my god, that was awful.
And spoiler alert, she dies in both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. But Devil's Advocate is actually a good movie. I enjoyed that one.
I was watching the third act of that on Netflix the other night, because I don't need the whole movie, but like that last scene where Al Pacino is just like chewing the scenery, where he's like, great. God is an absentee landlord. I'm like, this is so hammy and great.
Yep.
And Keanu trying to do like this like really bad like Southern accent, like as like Louisiana lawyer. It's like, it's fucking great. I love that movie.
I mean, Keanu was trying,
He really was. He really was. You gotta give Keanu a lot of credit for like swinging at everything.
Yeah, I mean, I also heard that.
You're gonna hit.
Speaking of Keanu, I also heard that Francis Lawrence, who directed him in Constantine, he wants to make like a Constantine sequel with Keanu Reeves.
That would be pretty cool.
Which I would love, because I think the 2005 Constantine with Keanu is extremely underrated. I actually watched it maybe like a month ago. Still holds up. Still one of my favorite comic book movies. So cool, and he's so good in it. I'd love to. I remember it said it would have been great for a sequel, and it did well financially. So I'm kind of shocked it never got a sequel.
It's got a good cast. You got Rachel Weisz is in there.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously doubt they would bring her or Shia LaBeouf back.
I mean, I just saw that there was a credit scene with Shia LaBeouf that I didn't even know about. Yeah, I finally saw it. I was like, "What?"
and that is cool, but he probably would never do it because he's so out there.
Nah, I don't think he'd come back.
I feel like with like the Transformer franchise alone is enough for him to be like, I will never do a sequel again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he'd be back, but I'd love to see Keanu back as John.
I think they should bring back Keanu and the guy who is the devil.
Oh, incredible! Peter Stormare, one of my favorite actors.
He's like the Russian guy in every movie.
And he was also in like the beginning of John Wick 2. So good.
He's got his car. Yeah.
Those two are so good together. I love them.
If you just bring them back, fantastic.
Yeah. And get someone like really good to play like God. That'd be great.
I'd be down. Speaking of which, real quick, they're also, since we're on the topic, they're trying to bring, I think, Dark. What is it? Is it Dark Avengers? No, DC
Justice League Dark.
Yes.
Damn. What would you do without me today? All I heard was like Dark Avengers. I was like, I feel like I can speak Johnanese over here.
Oh god. Yes, the Justice League Dark, which I know nothing about. I've never read the comics.
Right.
As it goes, I seen because I have DC Universe. I know that there's like a cartoon movie that came out. Have you seen that? Is it any good?
No, I haven't seen
that. That's what they're trying to do. I hear they're trying to make that into an HBO series as well.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams is producing it. It's going to be live action. It sounds like it's going to be awesome. Like, I love the whole... I mean, John Constantine's supposed to be in it. Swamp Thing, I think, is going to be in it. I don't know if it's going to be this Swamp Thing that just got canceled or a new one. I don't know. I'm still sour about Swamp Thing, though. That was such a good show.
And then, of course, just one last tie-in is they're doing a Gotham PD show on HBO Max as well.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I feel pretty not good about that. I'll just put it that.
I just feel like this is poor timing to do a show like that. Also,
I didn't even think about that. Shit.
Oh, really? I thought that's why you had mixed feelings.
No. You're right. If we can't even have Pup Patrol, I mean, don't think we should do Gotham PD.
No, I mean, I hear that like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is really struggling because they don't know how to move forward with the show, because they don't want to like make light of, like what's going on, and they don't want to rub people the wrong way. And that's one of my favorite shows. So hearing that breaks my heart. But like, if you can't even do a lighthearted comedy about cops, like now you want to do like a serious, gritty comic books, thing about cops.
I was thinking about this. When things go back to normal, I feel like moving forward that every movie, TV show, whatever, should completely ignore that the pandemic happened, because nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see people interacting with what we're interacting with. Like, we kind of want to see like the TV shows we had. Like, so if you try to put the BLM movement into Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I don't see that being a good idea. I would just like keep the status quo and like go into an alternate universe where none of this ever happened. It is a light show. It's not a heavy show.
I mean, I've never even seen anything even remotely racist on that show, or like negative or derogatory. Like, if it's one of the more progressive comedies, it's got an extremely diverse cast. It tackles like hard-hitting issues, like gay rights, and just kind of having like, now I'm blanking on everything, but like literally, like you have like a gay captain, you have a cop who is like bisexual, I mean, it's definitely more progressive than most cop shows or just shows in general. So I feel like if any show can bounce back and kind of continue going onward, it's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because I don't think it ever really crosses the line. If anything, it kind of like takes very current issues and respects them, and it doesn't like try to toss them aside. So I think it can move on. It
does feel like anybody that would protest it would be somebody who's never seen it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I mean, they just see maybe a show about cops, and they're like, "This is not right."
Cops. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But like, I mean, the other issue I have with the show is that like they already tried that with Gotham, and that turned out to be horrible.
That was be my next point. Is that I never got into Gotham, and they have a show called Pennyworth, which I've never watched, never cared about.
Yeah,
I don't think it did well.
But,
the early days of Alfred Pennyworth, I'm like, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just that's more something I'll wait to hear how it is before I watch it, because I mean, like, the creative team behind it's good, but like, I don't know.
Well, it'll probably have Gordon, which is played by the guy from Westworld. You probably know his name because you're killing it today.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Which guy from Westworld? Like the
guy with the glasses.
Jeffrey, right? Yeah.
Yes, there you go. See?
There you go. Encyclopedia.
Tom Chatalbash, everyone.
Can't remember my iTunes password, but I can remember the Westworld actor.
YouTube's most reliable name caller. No, not name caller. Name knower.
No, I'm always that guy in the group of friends where they're like, "Hey, who's that guy? Who's that girl in the movie with the cowboy and the hat?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, totally."
All right. So finally, we got one more contender. It's Disney Plus, and it's Hamilton. Because that's their big swinging Disney thing.
Yep. I mean, they tried with Artemis Fowl. They tried.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't call Mandalorian like the summer blockbuster because that's how old already. So
yeah, that came out like last fall. So
right. But yeah, they said that, and nothing's been on Disney Plus since then.
Yeah, they don't really have a lot of original stuff.
Anything.
Yeah, it's I barely go on Disney Plus.
I remember when it first came out, they front loaded it. Like I watched all those Jeff Goldblum shows that were pretty good. But like once you kind of run out, you're done. Like I'm not gonna go watch like High School Musical, whatever the hell that is, or I'm not gonna watch what's that one girl from forgetting Sarah Marshall who plays Sarah Marshall?
Kristen Bell, is that her name?
Bell, yes, yeah. She's got a show where it's like theater kids, I think, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm not gonna watch any of that. But yeah, Hamilton got dropped, and actually they said that they brought more subscribers on that movie than any other.
Yeah.
Because I guess like anybody that was like, I don't need to watch kid movies. I don't need to watch Disney. I'm not going to watch Mighty Ducks and The Lion King. So yeah, you scooped up everybody with that one.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. You've seen Hamilton, right?
Mm-hmm. That I have. It's amazing. It's suitably amazing. No, I mean, it's almost 3 hours, so I watched it once.
Okay.
I definitely want to watch it again because I really enjoyed it. But like, it's just.
I can't remember who I was talking to one. I can't remember who it was. I was talking to another film critic, and he was like, "I watched it 5 times," and I'm like, "Cool. How?"
Well, you just that's a day for you.
Where did you find 15 hours to watch Hamilton?
Yeah, I mean, good for you, but
I've got. I watched it once, but I have Spotify, which is kind of like Pandora or whatever, and I have found myself putting the soundtrack on a little bit.
Yeah, it's great music. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of just dug in. So like, especially like, I don't know, like that King George song.
Amazing.
Really dug into my brain.
Yep.
And I find myself just kind of like, right? So yeah, how do you even break this down? It's just a great, and you know, it's a hard pitch because it's like, I remember initially going, I don't want to watch who? Alexander Hamilton, the guy on the 10?
Right.
Who is this? It sounds boring. It sounds like something they're going to show like in like 3rd grade history class when they roll the TV in.
Oh, like, those were the best days. Like kids growing up now, they don't realize how exciting that was when you saw that thing rolling into the room and you're like, all bets are off, people. Today's a good day.
We're watching Glory, everybody.
Forrest Gump today. Let's do this.
But yeah, I think the first 10 minutes for me watching it was like, all right, so this is different. It's kind of like once you get past 10 minutes for me, I was like immediately sunk in. And then by that whole second act, I was very immersed. I wanted to go back and watch the beginning again to be like, you know, I was on my phone a little bit. I want to go back and rewatch the beginning again because I wasn't really. It's very good. It's very well thought out. Apparently, they
got the subtitles so I can actually see like what the lyrics because they go by so fast. Like I want to see what's actually.
I had to watch it because I got 10 minutes into it and I'm like, I'm on my phone going, how to use subtitles on Disney Plus, and I'm like, okay, good, because it is one giant sung exposition dump. Like everything is exposition. Nothing is really shown. Like they have like the sounds of like cannons and shit, but like nothing is really they always say in like film school, like show, don't tell. This is all tell. This is all just and I guess it has to be, and that's fine. But you absolutely need the subtitles if you want to follow and if you're not like a history buff and you don't know what the hell was going on during that time, which I'm not. I know the founding fathers, but Alexander Hamilton, I'm like, most people just know that milk commercial with Aaron Burr. He's trying to Aaron Burr, the whole bit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to delve into it. Do you have anything that stuck out in that for you? Like, do you have any favorite scenes? Any scenes that you like the most, or?
There's one Aaron Burr song. I think it's like "The Room Where It Happens." Incredible. King George basically stole the whole thing. It was great seeing Lin-Manuel in the role because everyone had always raved about him. So it was great seeing him. I thought he brought a lot of like emotion to it, which I really enjoyed. And just like the lighting and the choreography and just like the vocals throughout the entire thing is just so good. And the songs are so good and clever and just it's insane. It's absolutely insane. You're watching this, you're like, how did anyone even remotely think of this, make this like work? Like on paper, it sounds like an awful idea for a musical, like a musical about Alexander Hamilton and like Aaron Burr.
Yeah.
How's that going to work? And then it becomes like probably the best musical I've ever watched. So,
well, it's only because they did go with an original take. If you made it like a bunch of just white people singing like very monotone in a traditional Broadway way, maybe it would have worked, but probably not. It's only because they're like, we're going to diversify. We're going to get mostly a cast of people that are like, Black and Latino, and we're going to put a lot of hip hop in there. We're going to it's so good. I don't know. It's like, it feels like a mix of like 8 Mile and Rent. So with like, founding fathers, and Drunk History kind of poured it on top. I don't know how else to describe it to somebody who's never seen it. But yeah, it's very immersive. You really care about the characters, which you never would have otherwise. So okay. So let's go into the recommend. If you had to recommend a different movie based on somebody who liked Hamilton, I have mine. If you want to take a minute to think about it.
Damn. Yeah. You go on with yours. I need to think about mine. I don't want to just have it for like 5 minutes.
It's difficult because it's kind of like it's a filmed theater production. It's not even like a movie per se,
right?
Because it just filmed a Broadway show. They actually filmed it 3 times, one with an audience, one without, and then one where they got like a guy on stage so they can get those like close-ups where they're rotating around the characters and whatnot. If I had to pick a recommend, it would be Rent the movie, because the music is kind of similar, where it's very like rock opera at times. Because most musicals, like if you think about like Les Mis, very Broadway-y. I wouldn't recommend that if you like Hamilton, but I would recommend Rent the movie, which was pretty good. I saw the actual production on Broadway, and obviously it's better, but the movie's still pretty good. I think it's the closest thing you're going to find to kind of match up to Hamilton if you liked Hamilton.
Right. Yeah, I see that. For me,
or 8 Mile.
No, I was going to say if you liked Hamilton, 8 Mile is definitely should be on your radar for sure.
Yeah, it is an underdog story, so you kind of got that going there.
Yeah. Also, if you're just looking for like a good movie, just about like just a good music movie in general, just watch Whiplash. It's incredible.
I love Whiplash.
It's, in my opinion, I think it has the best ending of any movie I've ever watched. Like, just bar none. I've never left a theater so like almost like I was vibrating. I was like, holy shit.
I remember watching that movie online when it kind of first came out, and it was like I remember thinking, okay, it's gonna be like J.K. Simmons just yelling at the kid, but like that whole second half of that movie is amazing. Like when he's like rushing to get back in the car and the car flips, I'm like, oh, is he dead? Is he dead? What's gonna happen? And then it kind of takes a turn where like you think the movie's over, where J.K. Simmons gets like kind of whatever, and then they meet again. I'm like, this movie is so intense and so good. The writing is so good because you never know where it's going.
Exactly.
Not to spoil it, but like it's really perfect.
Or if you're just looking for a good musical, watch Grease. Grease is awesome. Like they're not really similar, other than the fact that they're a musical, but Grease is the shit. Okay, Grease is great.
Grease is the word.
Damn straight it is. Just don't watch Grease 2. Don't ever watch Grease 2.
I had never had and I like Michelle Pfeiffer, but I'm like, I have no inclination to watch Grease 2.
Don't do it. It's a mistake.
Speaking of Grease, John Travolta's wife unfortunately passed away.
Yeah,
Kelly Preston.
I was sad
really
to read that. Yeah.
Right? Like, and never heard anything about it. It was just like, boop. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, that fucking sucks. I feel bad for Travolta sometimes, man. He's had like a rough
Travolta's
career.
like a nice guy. He's a very sweet guy who just tends to pick really bad movies. So I always like John Travolta, but I just wish he chose better projects.
Right? Like I know it's probably like a tacky movie, but like I can watch Face Off on repeat.
I love Face Off. Face Off's amazing.
Right? It's just such a guilty pleasure movie. So like when something like Gotti comes out, or what was that one? The Fanatic. And I'm just like, Moose is in the house. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
No, no, sir. No. And then Gotti was like the worst movie of the year. Like nobody saw it. Nobody cared.
Yeah, I think
no. All right. So now we have to duke them out. We got the 4 streaming services, and we're going to put their movies on the line as a way to compare them. So if you have the Old Guard, Greyhound, Hamilton, and Palm Springs, which of those is your favorite movie of the summer?
So favorite movie, not like what I think is like the blockbuster of the summer, I guess.
Yeah, because this is subjective. It's your opinion.
Well, for me, it's Palm Springs. It's the best movie I've seen so far. It's like took 2 genres I love, combined them in a great package, and just super enjoyable, super rewatchable. Then like runner up probably be Hamilton, then the Old Guard, and then since I haven't seen Greyhound, then Greyhound.
I think you and me line up. I think although it's hard. I think Hamilton for me kind of beats out Palm Springs a little bit.
That's fair.
Just because like if I can walk around all day with those songs in my head, like you've done your job, sir. You know what I mean? Like
I was in the room where it happens for like 24 hours.
So and then like same here. I didn't think Old Guard was amazing. I actually like Extraction a little bit better than the Old Guard.
Extraction's way better movie.
Yeah, it really is. Like that one scene when Chris Hemsworth is like kicking ass, and like he does this thing with his gun, and he goes click clunk, and the shell comes flying out, and he shoot. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, very John Wick.
Yeah. I think they're gonna make a sequel to that too. I heard rumbles about that.
Yeah, they are making a sequel. Yeah, they confirmed that.
That'll be fantastic. Would you want to see? Oh, I don't know. I don't think you want to mix up the Old Guard and Extraction universe, though, do you? They could because they own them.
That would. I don't really see those two meshing. Completely different worlds.
Yeah. Just don't combine Bird Box into anything. You'll be fine.
Bird Box. I can't believe that was a thing, man. That was a thing. Like that was like a phenomenon. You've seen Bird Box? It's like what the fuck is Bird Box?
That was like the Tiger King of like that month. Everybody like was watching that. The memes
crazy.
Alone.
I mean, it's an okay movie at best. I don't know why people are flipping out about it. And now it's getting a sequel too. So,
but if I had to go like subjectively, I would probably pick Hamilton. Objectively, I think Netflix is always gonna be the king. Like as far as like who's killing it right now.
Netflix has something new like every week. If anyone was prepared for this pandemic, it was Netflix. They had new shows, movies, just loaded to the T. Like they even have a movie coming out in early August that's like a superhero movie, basically, where it's called Project Power with Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where it's basically like Limitless, but like if you take the pill, you get like superpowers for like 5 to 10 minutes. Right. So like I watched the trailer, I'm like, this looks like a pretty huge, big budget summer blockbuster movie. I'm like, this could be a massive hit for them. It could spawn a franchise. Who knows? And it's great to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt again. So I'm like, yeah.
I love that one scene where he gets shot in the face and his whole face goes, boo.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, Netflix is killing it.
And I love Jamie Foxx because he looks like more like he kind of reminds me of his character in Baby Driver.
Yeah, it looks
where he's kind of like a badass who's ready to kick ass. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's go. You know? So yeah, objectively I would say Netflix, but subjectively I would probably go Hamilton, with Palm Springs being a close second because, you know, Hamilton's not really a movie. They filmed a theater production, but it's still fucking good.
I mean, I don't know why it's such a debate. It's like it's not a movie. It's literally just
It's
taped play or tape musical. It's not really a movie, but okay.
But if you want to use that as a chip, as far as like which streaming service is dominating, I guess you could do it that way.
It's always going to be Netflix.
Yeah. So let's hold on. I just want to check out one thing. Let me go over to the thing. All right. So we got a few comments in here. We got 5 people watching. Guys, if you have any questions, we're going to wrap it up really quick. But if you got anything you want to throw in there, let's see. We got Movie Files. Where's it going, man? I think I saw him on J Buck Studios the other day. It was pretty cool. And then, of course, Unknown Flix has a whole bunch of stuff. But I don't know. Can't tell if everybody's even in here. Start stream 16. Let's see. So, you know what? That's all right. We'll just comment down below. Be sure to check out Tom Chatalbash. He's on Screen Rant. He's the writer for them, and you're also on Film
Inquiry. I'm a writer there as well. Do reviews over there, and also you can just find my YouTube channel, Chatalbash Reviews. YouTube.com/Chatalbash Reviews. Find all my movie reviews and TV reviews there if you're interested.
And I should point out, because it's something you should know, Chatalbash Reviews is all one word. If you put a space in the middle, you won't find it. Chatalbash Reviews, one word. He's right there. You're going to see his pretty face. YouTube's most reliable movie critic.
Yep. All good things are worth, going through a hassle to find.
Tom, I want to thank you for coming on today. We're going to wrap it up. Any final thoughts? I just want to say thanks for coming on. It's always great talking to you and shooting the shit. I feel bad last time we didn't do a one-on-one because it was kind of like, we haven't really talked before. And this is a lot of fun, man. We should do it more often.
Absolutely, man. Had a great time. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. Happy to do it again. And yeah. I'll probably be talking to you soon.
All right, guys. So I've been John from Burns Reviews. He's been Tom from Chatalbash Reviews. Be sure to subscribe. I'm going to leave all the comments down below. He's going to leave a comment on this video, and I'm going to pin it so you can find his channel. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been John. He's been Tom. You've been Burned, and we will see you next time.